You know what grosses me out?
What?
Boogers. Like I nannied for a long time and I've had like every type of,
Yeah.
like blood and poop and pee and whatever. But a booger, like even my own boogers, I can't stand my own boogers. I cannot stand boogers at all.
So you were never the person that was like just taking their hand and wiping the boogers like with your
No, oh
hand?
God, like even just like talking about it is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
You're like my sister who doesn't have children. She's totally disgusted by breast milk. Like it just like totally grosses her out.
It's funny because like I said, nothing else grosses me out as far as all that other stuff goes. But yeah. But if a kid like hands me a booger, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna vomit. I had a kid once hand me a booger. And that's probably what did it to me, It's just like it caught me off guard and it was very traumatizing. And now here I am.
Gross.
How are you? What's new? Tell me about your life.
My children went to school today for the first time.
How do you feel about that?
I'm a little sad. It's quiet in the house. Yeah.
What grades are they in now?
5th and 7th. So Ava went over to the middle school because their middle school is just 7th and 8th grade. So she was at elementary school at one school the whole time.
Yeah.
And, you and I went to school in the same school through 8th grade and then we just went next door. Or well, you didn't, but I just went next door. But I didn't go to a separate middle school.
Yeah. Is she prepared for the hell that is middle school? Does she know?
I don't think she's mentally prepared for it. She was really nervous today.
Yeah, like do you as a parent like warn her about how these next couple of years will stick with her for literally the rest of her life?
No, because that will just like she'll overanalyze it and it'll totally get in her head. But even when I was dropping off Miles, I was standing there talking to another mom and I was saying how Ava was very nervous and the mom, she doesn't have a kid in Ava's class and she even looked at me and she was like, oh, she's like 7th and 8th grade are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is the worst.
It's really bad. Well,
yeah.
Here's to her, surviving the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. You have to keep us posted.
Well, if I'm starting to have a mental breakdown, it's probably because of that.
Yeah. It'll be fun. So fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's going on with you?
Well, let's see here. Not too much. I'm getting into my busy portion of my year. So I've been working a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave up dating. Well, I didn't give up dating, but I haven't been on the apps in a month.
Okay. Do you feel rejuvenated from that?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a quick yes.
Yeah. Like I will never say never, but like there's a 95% chance I'm never going back on the apps.
I think that would be so stressful.
It is. I've gotten, so right now, you're my friend outside of this. So, like lately I've been going through this whole like cleansing of things, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's just like dating apps are mean. Like talking about middle school, it's kind of like middle school. Like they're mean. Like you just kind of treat people, and me too. Like I don't mean to be mean, but like you just unmatch people mid-conversation.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like you don't even know. And like, I don't mean to be rude. And I date a lot of different types of people.
Yeah.
So to be very clear, like my range is pretty broad.
Yeah.
But like, it is amazing how many ugly men exist. Like, they swipe on you and this is part of the reason I'm off the app.
Yeah.
Too. Is like, I look at these people and I'm like, as if.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not a chance. Bucko.
Your confidence is way above where it should be.
Yeah. You would never approach me in a bar ever.
Right.
And I always like played in my league, but I just like, there's like micro meanness going on like every day.
I get it.
And also like nobody, and I put myself in this case too. Like I'm in the same category. Like everyone is so quick to write people off. When you think about like, because when you met Jared, you were friends, like you were in the same group of friends for a while, right?
No.
Oh, you just met and started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well,
We met at a party.
but you
Yeah.
know how like a lot of times, did you have mutual friends?
No.
Oh, fascinating. Okay. But you know
Mm-hmm.
how like there's a lot of people who meet at work
Yeah.
or they meet in school because they have like but they're friends first or they're in like a group of friends.
Right.
And so sometimes like like the first two I've had 4 significant relationships as an adult and the first two like I didn't even like them at first in that way.
Right.
Cuz you get to know them and then you're like whatever. So anyways, I'm off the apps cuz
Okay.
I just
Okay.
can't do it anymore.
So are you off dating or are you just like looking for personalized recommendations?
I am not off dating. I just am no longer doing it in that regard
Yeah.
or in that capacity. But since I've been off of the apps, I've read 2.5, well, and dating, because I haven't
Mm-hmm.
gone on a date because
Sure.
it's going to be much harder to find a date.
Mm-hmm.
But I've read 2.5 books. I've completely reorganized my entire bedroom. Next is my office.
That always feels so good when you do stuff like that and you get organized. Oh, yeah.
Yes. And tonight I have a call with so the reason I reorganized my whole bedroom is I did a feng shui appointment.
Oh,
And I
okay.
have a follow-up one today.
Did you get that on Groupon?
No.
Because weren't you buying stuff on Groupon? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was. I did that mosaic class that I found on Groupon and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Good.
Did you see the strawberry that I made? It was bad.
I was going to say, okay, so you asked the question and I delayed trying to think really quick what I was going to say because I was like, does she think it was good?
No, it was real bad.
I mean, I think it would be hard. Let me say
It
that
was hard.
it would be very hard. I wouldn't expect you to be, freaking making stained glass art for a church at this point. But
You have to cut the glass yourself, and glass does not just cut like paper.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It has a
that'd be
mind
hard.
of its own. So, but I did do that. But yeah, so I've been putting a lot of my time and energy into house projects, being creative, and also, as Megan knows now, I'm also not planting any more seeds.
Right.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
Let's not, I mean.
Just gonna water the seeds that I have
yes.
planted. Okay.
Sounds good.
Anyways, speaking of watering seeds we already have planted, I think I have 2 people who are signing up for the trip. So
do you?
I have been talking about it and I think they're coming and I think we need to talk about it again right now.
Yes, definitely. Because now we're getting to the point where if people sign up, I'm going to send a reminder to the people who have already signed up. But before you only needed to put down a deposit. But if you book within 60 days of going, you have to pay the whole thing up front.
Okay.
That's just how the resort works. So at the end of September, that is when that kind of kicks in.
Okay. Great. So we're going to do a push here because I would like to I want to sell out the whole club. I'm just kidding. So any other business things? What is going on with you business-wise? How are the weddings going?
Good. I have one. Well, when this airs, God, you know what, Jen? We always do such a horrible job of talking about like when this airs, it'll be this week. 95% of the time when we say something like that, I have to edit it out because I'm editing it and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
That's not our, we didn't, that's, whatever. But I think when this airs, I will have my last wedding coming up that weekend for 2025. So that's pretty exciting for me.
I have my first wedding and only wedding. We're about 4 weeks out from.
Okay. I'm also very excited. I'm going to put this out in the universe. I did 2 consults last week for weddings at Sandals.
Yes.
One in Jamaica and one in St. Vincent. And I doubt those people listen to this podcast. However, if you are, I would love to work with you because I think it is so fun to plan these weddings at Sandals or Beaches. And I just really, both of the people that I talked to, like they were super nice. When you just talk to people and you're like, oh, that's like a good vibe, a good feeling. We do this for wedding consults all the time. Like you get a vibe from the people that you meet with. Yeah. And I really liked both of these couples. So I hope it works out. I'd be happy with one of the 2. I mean, I'm going to shoot low here, but
Well, okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of vibes, have you ever done a consult for a wedding and gotten a bad vibe and just emailed them and said like no dice?
Um, Not for a destination wedding, but for weddings, I have gotten bad vibes. I don't think I've ever been quite as blunt to just say like, I don't think so. I probably take the passive aggressive approach and hope that they felt the same way and that it doesn't work out. And then if they do reach back out, I probably make something up about why I can't do it. But I have turned people away. All in all, I have turned people away. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, I have said like I don't think I'm a right fit for you.
Okay, that's brave of you. Yeah. I don't know why I just haven't been able to like say that to them.
Yeah, I don't yeah, I think I just can tell and I'm like I don't want to like why would you hire me? Cuz we don't vibe.
Right. And it's like usually a year,
Yes.
you're going to have to be talking to people that you're not really connecting with. So that, yeah.
Yep.
I feel like even that might lead in a little bit to what we're talking about today, not vibing about some things.
Yes.
Okay.
Today we're talking about hills that we would die on.
Yes. Should we explain that?
I was just going to say I learned what that meant from an industry friend of mine. So we were on a final walkthrough and I was essentially like arguing about something with the mother of the groom through the phone.
Oh boy.
The groom was on the phone with his mother because, she couldn't be there. And Rachel, who is she was with the caterer, she pulled me aside and just held up she didn't like pull me aside, but she held up her notebook to me to like show me a note.
Yep.
And it said, "Don't die on this hill." And even though like I had never used that before, I was like, I knew exactly what it meant.
Yeah. And
so I just let it go. Well, kind of. That's probably also when I was like, no more parents. I am so sick of parents. But to die on a hill, or like the saying, if I understand it, what if I don't? What if I say something totally? You're like, that's not what it means. But it's like it's not worth it. Like, give it up.
Right.
You're not going to win this battle. You want to win the war. So like, don't die on the hill over something silly.
Right. But we're talking about the hills we would die on. Like these are the non-negotiable things that when somebody comes to us and either asks about it or we're talking about it during the planning process, we have an opinion and we are not willing to compromise that opinion.
Yeah.
Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
Okay, good. Thank God. Otherwise we'd have to be like, and the episode's done because Jen didn't really understand what she was prepping for today.
Yes. And I have put some together and I kind of go in order of like, small hill to big hill.
We didn't talk about this ahead of time, and I'm so curious to see if anything that I've written down is the same thing that you have. I kind of don't think it will be.
I don't think so either. I have this feeling, I think we'll agree on some of them and disagree on some of them. Just kind of how we always operate.
And Jen, I think you mentioned this when we were kind of teasing this episode. There aren't a lot of things that you and I will put our foot down on and be like, I am not willing to compromise that. And for me, at least, it's because I've been doing this for so long that there are definitely things that people say or want to do that I disagree with, and I vocalize it. However, I let them fail. I let them do it if they really want to, because I'm just like, what, ultimately it's your wedding. It's your money. I say that all the time to people. You can do what you want, right? That's different than what we're talking about today. Like the things that I have written down, I am like, no dice. Like we have to do this.
Or not do it.
Or not do it. Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that maybe mine are like, I probably still, no, I wouldn't compromise on most of these things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess sometimes there's nothing you can do, right? If you're working with somebody and they just refuse to do what you say, like there's no way that we can force them, right?
Yeah, I think Let's just start.
Yeah. I would just hope that the people that I'm working with respect me enough and have hired me for the right reasons that when I say I have a very strong opinion on this, like they're going to listen to me.
Right. And I think that our clients do, but this will maybe be helpful. I mean, you're going to learn if you don't have a planner or you don't have a good planner,
Right.
you're going to learn maybe some things that do matter.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So a hill that I will die on is that your ceremony time, we start at your ceremony time. The ceremony time, and this is, we have to in a church, so I have backup on that hill.
Yes.
But anywhere else, I don't have backup. But if it says 5 o'clock, it starts at 5 o'clock.
So what you're referring to is the couples who come to you and say, well, we're going to put that our ceremony starts at 5:15 on our invitation, but we're really going to start at 5:30. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yes.
And if the ceremony time says 5:30, the music's starting at 5:30. Maybe 5:32.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I did not think of that, but every time somebody makes that suggestion that, oh, I heard that we should do this, it's like, who are you hearing this from? This is a dumb idea.
It's a dumb idea. And if people are late, then as soon as everybody gets down the aisle, I will let them in.
Right.
But I don't care.
No.
Like this is what time it starts at. Period. End of story. Dead on the hill.
I think that I, a long time ago, had somebody who I let do this. And what ended up happening is that people get there, they're sitting there, they're thinking that you are supposed to start at a certain time. You're not starting. And they all think that the bride is in a cab, backed out. Something is wrong. Like people are mad, especially if they're sitting outside and it's hot or it's windy or if it's raining again.
Which we just talked about.
We just talked about this. Do you want to start your wedding with everybody being irritated at you? No. I agree. 100%.
Yep. So there we go. Okay.
Realistic timelines. I have so many couples where I send the timeline, especially through, let's say, dinner service, and they look at it and they're like, well, how could dinner from the time people sit down until the end possibly be an hour and a half? It's only going to take an hour. And no, I have done this too long. Dinner is going to take a certain amount of time. However long I think it's going to take, I'm probably going to be within 10 to 15 minutes unless you have somebody giving a toast that goes way long. I'm good at estimating the time. And I tell people, like, we can write whatever time down you want on that piece of paper. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it messes everything up. And so realistic timelines, I need realistic timelines.
I have a story about that.
Okay, good.
So I was working with a couple, and what they wanted to do is very unique. They wanted to have like two ceremonies. Well, having two ceremonies on the same day is not unique, but two ceremonies in the venue that they picked was very difficult to do.
Okay.
So we would have had to do a cocktail hour in between the ceremonies because the bride wanted to change. And you can't just you can't get 200 people into cocktails and then not give them a chance to have a drink and a bite before you move them again to sit down for another ceremony.
Oh, they'd be so mad.
Anyways, long story short, they fought me on that because essentially what they were upset about was that there was no dancing. There's no time for dancing. So by the time we got everybody into the space, we can't have a single guest walk into the space till 6 p.m. and we have to be out by midnight.
And you had two ceremonies happening.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
So by the time, you get everybody in, do ceremony 1, do a cocktail hour, do ceremony 2, move people in for dinner, do dinner service with toasts and whatnot, maybe 30 minutes of dancing.
Oh my God.
And they did not believe me. And I was like adamant about it.
Yeah.
We ended up parting ways.
Uh-huh.
But I found out through other the vendors, because they were all my vendors,
Yeah.
that my timeline was accurate. Exactly what I had put together is what happened, and people weren't happy about that. But yeah, I was right.
And we're just going to say that out loud. She was right.
I was right. So yes, it's so valid, and it's one of those things too where I just get a little irked up because I would just love to come into their job. I would like to plan or explain to them how they do their job.
Right.
Because that's what's happening. You're telling us that we don't know how to do our job.
Right. And people just, the reason you hired us is to provide you with this information. But when people are looking at timelines, a lot of times you think, okay, well, the ceremony is going to take 30 minutes. It's going to take me 15 minutes to change my dress. And then the other ceremony is 30 minutes. It's like, no, it's going to take 10 minutes just to move people out of the room.
Yeah.
People go to the bathroom.
Yes.
People need to be in line for,
Yeah.
like whatever. There are so many things take way longer on your wedding day.
Yes.
Than you think they're going to.
Absolutely.
And like I said, we can write down whatever time you want on a piece of paper, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
Things take as long as they take.
And one of the things I always tell my couples is the easiest way to speed up your day, which nobody wants to know, is to have an unrealistic timeline when we have too much going on. So if you want your day to fly by, then sure. Yeah, we can make it that all happen.
Right.
But all day you're just going to be rushed from point A to point B to point C, and that day will be over before you know it.
Yeah. And you won't have had fun.
That I'm dying on that hill with you. So I'm not changing the timeline.
Right. Right.
Bye. Okay. Ready for my next one?
Yes.
Linens touch the floor.
Oh my God. Who's not having linens touch the floor?
I'm sure somebody.
Okay. But not the weddings you are doing, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. But have you ever gone into a hotel where they're like the linens that are included and they're just like 2 square linens over a table? And then they're like, oh, you just, the chairs will cover up no.
Right. This is what we always do. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I didn't think of that either because I guess I don't really encounter that as much.
Well, we're just spoiled.
We are spoiled. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's just a non-negotiable for me. There's not a world where like I will die on that hill. I won't do your wedding.
Yeah. Do you want your wedding to look like a conference or do you want it to look like a wedding?
Correct.
Take your pick.
Yeah. So that's one of mine.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I have transportation.
Oh, I have one for transportation too. So let me hear yours.
Okay. Mine is you have to listen to me when I'm telling you how big of buses are. You need to have enough transportation. If you are busing your guests to your ceremony from hotels, you need to have enough transportation to get everybody there in a timely manner. If you have 200 people at your wedding, you could not bus 200 people to a ceremony in a 25-passenger limo bus. Do you know how many trips that's going to take? Even if your hotel is 3 blocks from your venue, that transportation company is going to tell you it's going to take at least 15 to 20 minutes round trip. You need time for people to get on. You need time for people to get off.
Yes. Also,
non-negotiable.
It is non-negotiable. And I'll add to that.
Yes.
If you even have different times, like that drives me crazy. Like, well, we'll send one at 5 and then we'll send one at 5:20. Okay, well then you need to assign people.
Yes.
Because if I'm in the hotel room and I see, oh, when are the buses leaving? Well, I don't want to be on the 5 o'clock one. I want to be on the 5:20 one.
Right.
You and all 200 people.
Right.
So you have one wave. You have one seat for every butt. And that's it. Or you don't offer transportation.
Right. If I could eliminate unnecessary wedding day transportation for guests, I would.
It's obnoxious.
It's obnoxious. It's complicated. It's one of the things that people stress over. It's like, when couples and their families are talking about their wedding day bus transportation for their guests, I swear it's like they're busing 6-year-olds on their first day to kindergarten. Like they are not confident that any of their guests are going to be able to get on the bus, get off the bus, know where to go for the bus. It's like, if you have a bus, just have the bus. And these are adults. Tell them what time. Like they'll be fine. But there's so much worry around it.
Although, devil's advocate here, and I say this respectfully, even the best transportation company in the world, sometimes the drivers do not get my itinerary.
Yeah.
Or they decide they're going to park around the corner and not tell anybody. So to be fair, when we have any transportation, my couples, I have an assistant purely to handle that. It's a pain in the butt.
It is. It's a pain in the butt.
Yes, it's a combination. But Rachel, if you guys don't remember, she's my roommate. She's a planner too. She was saying that like the other day we were talking about something. No one is as stupid as a wedding guest.
Seriously. That's why we have to have all the signs. Do you know how much money people spend on signs? Sign our guest book.
Yeah.
Here's our card box. It's like, come on.
Right? I'm like, the minute you open a wedding invite, like every brain cell leaves your body. And like, it's wild to me. It's like, it should be researched.
Right. I know. Like the brain of a wedding guest.
Yeah,
you know how much Jen and I love wedding guests.
Oh my God. I'm going to make a meme today about that and post it on our Instagram.
That would be amazing. Yes.
We're going to go viral. Okay. I'm going to add. So here's one of my I will die ons. Hills, anyways.
Yeah.
End of the night transportation for the couple. And here is why.
Like to have it.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I used to be pretty la-di-da about this, like they're like, oh, we'll just get an Uber. And for some reason I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And then it hit me like my clients are spending so much money on their wedding day and then ordering an Uber. So I
still let people get an Uber. If they want to get an Uber, I don't care.
I won't. I'm like, for $200, there'll be an SUV waiting just for you with a driver who will actually help you if like whatever. So it's a non-negotiable. Like we are booking transportation for the couple to get back to the hotel. So sorry, not sorry.
No, that's okay. I just am like, it's the end of the night. If that's what they really want to do, like whatever. But I don't see a lot of people take Ubers. Usually if they don't have transportation set up, which they usually do, they have, made arrangements to get a ride the 3 blocks with somebody.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dropped off.
And I'm just like, no, it's not happening for me anymore. Okay. So, I have one.
Okay.
And again, this is like pulling from the olden days because nobody questions this anymore. But I also don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, because I think sometimes, it's all about educating your couples. And sometimes my non-negotiables, I just say outright at the beginning, so it never gets questioned.
Right.
But my hill I will die on is in most cases, in all cases, I will never, ever, ever subtract staffing.
Oh, yeah.
So servers, bartenders, I will never. And actually, in most cases, before my couples even get the first proposal, I'm looking to see if I agree with the amount of staff that's been listed. And sometimes I'll add staff.
Yeah.
Like I'll go back and be like, please add a bartender and 2 more servers before I even show the couple.
I was going to say, a lot of times it's the bartenders being added, I feel like.
Yes. So it's a non-negotiable, 1 bartender for every 50 people. I probably go heavy on servers too, just because if you want that dance floor to open up sooner, like our best bet is more servers.
Yeah.
And for you to not do any toast, that would be great. Thanks. But yeah, that's a non-negotiable for me. I will never do it.
I don't think I've ever had anybody ask to remove servers.
Yeah, back in the olden days when I was doing this, I got that a lot. Because if you look at the service line on a catering proposal, it's a lot of money. And I think for some people who are having to stay within a budget, you know, in their mind, they're like, well,
right.
Again, like, yeah, well, why would we need this many blah, blah, blah? Because they just don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand why.
No, I get it.
So, yeah. So that's one of mine.
This one I hesitated putting down because I'm not quite sure if it applies, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I have a non-negotiable on certain venues in town that I just simply won't work in anymore. Do you have any?
Yes.
I don't care if I'm available. I don't care if you're lovely. Like, I'm not doing a wedding in that venue.
Yes. Correct. Same.
There's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately, if you're listening to this, because I'm not going to say what they are. So good luck.
It's actually one of the things that I talk about when I'm like doing a consult with a couple. It's like part of what you get a planner for is like, we've lived it.
Right.
We've lived it. We've walked the walk, and we can save you from having to navigate that.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a venue in Chicago, for example, where they don't have a kitchen and they don't have any room in the building to make a kitchen. So they set up in the alley.
Oh, what happens in the winter?
They set up in the alley.
Oh, God.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. I'm surprised any caterers agree to do anything there.
Yeah, I won't work there.
I think for me, it comes down to, well, I mean, that's pretty bad, but also like the load-in situation. Mm-hmm. There's venues in town that just are not accommodating at all in terms of how we load into the building. And it's more trouble than it's worth for me and the vendors. And load-in times. Like if there's a venue in town that is so strict on, I don't know, like I'm just particular as I'm getting older. And some places are like, I know it's going to happen where a couple is going to book the venue and they're going to say, oh, 2 hours is plenty of time to load in. And then this couple wants to do draping and specialty hanging floral, and they have to put up a stage for the band. And then all of a sudden the vendors are telling them, we actually need to start setting up at 9:00 in the morning. And that's thousands of dollars they have to pay. And it's a whole big thing. So I'm not dealing with that.
Well, and I'll get into it here in Chicago. One of my, this is now just a pet peeve.
Yeah.
But a lot of venues charge commission. So like they're getting commission on the caterer and decor company in some cases. And so, okay, fine, right? Like if that's how you do it. But then they're being sticklers on when decor can come in and set up. And to me, it's like, well, if you're making a percentage off of the decor, then you should be flexible on what that decor team needs.
Right.
Because the more setup time we need means my clients are spending more money.
Right.
Which means you're getting more money.
Right. Absolutely.
So the client shouldn't have to pay more money.
Right.
You should just let them in at 6 a.m.
Right.
But that's probably another episode. Okay. So this one got brought up to me this past weekend. I was hanging out with some friends, and someone got invited to a wedding. And she asked me this question, and I realized etiquette-wise, I don't have a ton of hills. Etiquette for me, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't follow it.
Right.
Except for this one.
Okay.
Black tie required. So it's a black tie wedding.
Okay.
Start time, 4:30. Outdoor wedding in the summer. Absolutely not can be black tie. You cannot do that to your guests.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I lost you on the description. Okay, so you're saying if it's an outdoor wedding in the summer and it starts at 4:30, it is not a black tie wedding.
It is not a black tie wedding.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's nothing black tie about that. And also like the one etiquette thing that I think makes sense is it's something like it can't be black tie. It has to be started at 6 p.m. or later or something along those lines.
Right.
See, I don't even know the actual etiquette, but I know enough to know that that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if my couples came to me and said, we want to get married in the Honeycomb at Cafe Brower and we want our ceremony to start at 4:30, first of all, I'd say no. That's too early. Like, that's not happening. But then black tie, I'd be like, absolutely not. That becomes a cocktail style, like cocktail attire, if anything.
Right.
I just thought of another hill I'll die on.
Oh boy, go ahead.
There is no reason ever in this world that your wedding should be over 7 hours long.
Oh, it gets long. It gets long.
It's too long, and there's no need. It is not necessary. So that couple that my friend got invited to that's starting at 4:30,
yeah,
that wedding better end at 10:30 or 11. I bet it doesn't. I bet it ends at midnight.
Yeah. I'm not dying on that hill just because I do so many church weddings and they'll start at like 1 or 2 or whatever. But
well, that's different.
okay.
But consecutively, it should never be longer than that.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that all of a sudden want to get married at 4:30, and that just seems very early to me.
It is very early. If you're not getting married in a church, because again, then your ceremony should end at 10:30 or your reception. So if you want to do an after party somewhere else, that's fine. But
yeah, it's a long time.
Your guests are going to get tired. Like,
yeah,
because if it starts at 4:30, you're asking them to be there by 4, which means they're ready at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you want your wedding to end with a lot of people there.
Right.
Like wanting more.
Right.
Not like it trickles out and like, oh, there's 10 people left on the dance floor.
Right. Yeah.
That was another hill I'll die on. Which goes back to your timeline thing, though. I mean, like, there's just a lot, I think, that has to do with our timelines.
Yes.
And why we do things the way we do. Like, it's not like just for shits and giggles.
Right.
You know, it's not like everyone we're like, what should we do for this one?
Right. I know. Sometimes you feel like people act like it's your first time
Yes.
like doing it. Like they're like most of the questions that I get asked, I can just answer. I don't need to look into it. But it's a lot of times like, well, can you just ask? It's like, I have done this 350 times already. Like, sure. I can ask, but like, no.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Do you have one more?
Yeah, I have another one.
Okay.
This might be one of my biggest ones, although I don't hear it very much, but never in a million years, and I would run away with a 10-foot pole. Anybody who suggests doing DIY floral.
Yes.
Nightmare. You are creating your own hell.
I'm going to mention Rachel again.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I just overheard her doing a consult the other day, and I thought she handled this so brilliantly. But before the bride even said anything, she was like, you know, if floral's not that important to you, then the last thing you should consider is DIY. Because that's the excuse a lot of people give. Like, oh, well, we don't really care that much about it, so we'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you don't care about it, then you should definitely hire somebody to do it.
Right.
Because, like, it's the worst, like, to do that. And I just thought that was brilliant.
We need to have a florist on this podcast because just for them to talk about the process, people do not realize how extensive the floral prep is for weddings, when florists are starting. If you're doing DIY floral, like you have to not only arrange the flowers, have a cool place to store them, transport the flowers, take them home at the end of the night. I am not a florist. I'm not doing this for you. That is not my job.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I am DIYing florist, can you set up these vases and just pop a couple stems? No. Yeah. I cannot. I am not a florist.
A lot of people search for coordinators just for that.
Like well, that's fine. They can hire the young people who charge $50 and they can go set up the flowers.
It's not fine. I mean, that's why I don't think that's fine.
No, I don't think it's fine either.
That's not what we do. And, you know, if the young planners want to do it, because like Godspeed, but like, everyone should be putting their foot down on that because that's not what we do.
Right.
So you're missing the whole point.
Right. I hate DIY anything.
Me too. I don't do it.
Anything
I know.
DIY. Anything. Just don't.
I agree.
Don't go to Michael's.
I agree.
Don't order anything DIY.
I agree. I hate it all. This might be, I'm realizing, more of a hot take than a hill. Well, but no, I guess like it is a hill I'll die on because I just won't do it. But not everyone is like entitled. Like you don't just get to have a big fancy wedding because you're getting married.
Right. Yeah. You don't need a big fancy wedding.
No, you don't. But I just think that's like, you know, it's expensive. It's very expensive.
It's very expensive. And I don't, we're in two different markets, but in Milwaukee with the more experienced vendors, I still think that this is very much a seller's market when it comes to weddings. I don't think it's a buyer's market. But I think that kind of goes along with your point is people think they can just go to any vendor and say, I'm a bride, I'm getting married, or I'm a groom, I'm getting married. And the vendors will just bend over backwards somehow to accommodate them. And not that we don't want to accommodate people. I want everybody to have a great wedding, but there's a lot of people who don't need business. We've got enough business, so nobody's going to bend over backwards to accommodate your event. And so if you don't have a huge budget, I think you need to think about scaling back and scaling back people. Maybe we should do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Of like ways to cut costs.
Yeah. It just becomes like, it's interesting. Yeah. Megan and I do very like, I mean, our budgets, our clients' budgets are larger, than when we first started, obviously. But even that, it's like, for me, my minimum keeps changing because it's like, you know what you need to do, what you need to do. So it's like, if you're going to my website or my Instagram and you like what you see, like that costs some, like that's a budget that starts at a certain amount.
Right.
And there's no way around that.
Right.
And I think when you're getting with experienced professionals, we want to keep doing things the way we like to do them. And we want to create the experiences that we're used to creating. And that means we can't work with everybody.
Right. And that's, I think, speaking for a lot of vendors, not just us.
Yep. So sorry. Again, sorry, not sorry. You could still have a wedding. Yeah. And just maybe consider your guest count and where you're getting married and, all those things.
I always think it's funny when people like find pictures on Pinterest. They're like, I want to do this because I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know why you've never seen that before?
Because
I'm going to show you how much it costs. I'm going to show you all the things that go into it. Or it's a fake picture, you know, like, and you can't be done. So.
Right. I think it's going to be interesting because, like, I mean, I feel like AI, coming into things, like it's already affecting hair and makeup artists and what they're seeing.
Yeah.
I wonder what we'll start to see in other areas.
I had it in floral recently.
Did you?
Where somebody brought in a photo and the florist was like, well, that's AI.
Yeah. I was at my friend's house over the weekend up in Michigan, and one of her mom's friends was there, and she is divorced and dating. And so she was like, she was talking about a guy, and she was like, I'm like, let me see his pictures. And I like pull it up, and I was like, these are AI. Like these. And she's like, how do you know? And I'm like, how do you not know?
Oh, did you burst her bubble?
I did. But I hope now she knows. Like, yeah. Like that is not that picture is clearly fake. So,
poor lady.
Anyway, I saved her though.
Yeah, you did save her. That was definitely necessary.
Yeah, just doing my part.
Do you think that there's a little bit of sometimes I feel this way. Let me know if you do too. For weddings, I think that people, brides in particular, come into wedding planning with an idea of how wedding planning is going to be. It's going to be this big, grandiose experience. And not that it's not. I think that it is, but I think that there's so much hype around it. And I think that when their friends are getting married, they probably exaggerate a bit about how things are. And then they get into the planning and they're like, oh, we kind of are just like checking off boxes.
Yeah, well,
Like it's more ordinary than they think it's going to be.
well, but you're also, I hear what you're saying, but I think it just goes back to it kind of is the same as when people want to be a wedding planner. They
Right.
think that it is what it's not.
Yes.
So wedding planning is like 85% logistics and research and interviewing and reviewing proposals and contracts.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I think you're coming at it from somebody who's been doing this for a very long time, and you make it incredibly easy.
Yeah.
So it is easy to check these boxes.
Right.
But if you don't have a planner, you're just checking boxes, but be prepared. It's going to be a lot of work.
That's a very good point. If you want it to be more dramatic, maybe don't hire a planner because
yeah, exactly. Like if you want to have your binder
right
and walk around and talk about how hard wedding planning is, don't hire a planner.
Yeah.
But if you have a planner, unfortunately, you can't like walk around martyring, getting like, oh, I'm planning working full time and planning a wedding and I'm training for a half marathon. It's like, you have a planner, your wedding planning takes you like 2 minutes a week. So,
right. But I think some people want the drama. So maybe they just say that, no
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But I wanted to go back and make one more point about spending money on your wedding,
yes.
even though this is not what the episode's about. But I just wanted to point out something too. If you are working with a planner or not, but even if you are working with a planner, I guess is my point. If you want to be doing something unique and different, it's going to take longer for a planner to get things to you, like just even proposals and stuff like that.
Yep.
But also to tell you what it's going to cost. So that's what I'm finding, because for next year, my weddings, we're doing kind of like 2 of my three weddings are doing very different flows and very different decor. And like, even when I gave the update to one of my couples, I was like, yeah, so we'll have proposals in a couple of weeks and you better be sitting down, because like I can't spitball pricing when we're doing things that aren't quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting for me navigating.
That made me think of a pet peeve. This episode is totally swayed, but that made me think of a pet peeve. You know what is a pet peeve of mine?
What?
In the very beginning of the wedding planning process, when people, and so many people do this, and they're not trying to be, ridiculous, but it is ridiculous. And they're like, so for 150 people, what we just talked about, mind you, what we just talked about was like a very general overview of what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
What do you think a ballpark wedding? What do you think that's going to cost? Yeah. It's like, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of bar package you want. I don't know what kind of chairs you want. I don't know if you want a band or I don't know.
Right.
And the average can swing so high. So it's like, and there's people who like force you almost to like spit out a number.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to cost.
I know. And like my dream, my next manifestation of a client is that I don't even have to put a budget together. Like, I mean, we in our heads, we're like, all right, we're shooting for this. Okay.
Right.
And I'll keep track of things and I'll let you know like how the process is going. But my dream client is just somebody who's like, we trust that you're not going to like do anything we don't need to do. But like, I'm kind of using I have a client next year where like we have a budget and I put it together, but everything I've come back, I'm like, it's over budget.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's fine. So it's like, I need more people like that in my life, because it's just, for the people who want to do creative and different things, like I need there to be flexibility. You can always say no. You don't have to sign off on anything.
Right.
But I'm just like, oh God, having to stay within a budget,
I work with a lot of people who they have a budget. So they're not like going to spend $1 million on the wedding, but we don't have a budget up front. And it's more like when I'm sending information on rentals or photographers or anything, it's just like, this is an average cost here. We could go a little high end. Like I'm not restrained to a budget, but I'm showing them different options and then they're cutting back.
I love that.
See, Jen, that's typically when you work with the parents because the parents have a lot of the money.
Yeah, I cannot handle it. I can't handle it. I cannot. I just like, everything takes forever. Ugh, no. So more couples who have self-funded weddings, please. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. Do we have any more? Cause I had a couple of things that I guess I'm like, oh, I wouldn't die on a hill. Like, I think guest books. I hate guest books. I hate boutonnieres, but I won't die on those hills.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think now nobody wants to contact us for wedding planning, and we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, until next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining us again this week. If you have a wedding or travel-related story of your own that you would like us to share in a future episode, send us an email to theplannerspassport@gmail.com.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Planner's Passport, and follow all of our travel and wedding businesses, including We Roam Solo, Dare to Dream Travel, and Dare to Dream Weddings. And please, if you enjoy our show, remember to rate, review, and subscribe from wherever you are listening to this podcast.